And I have Kevin's review of Kong versus Godzilla. He sent it to me to read.
Nice. Are you gonna read it in full, just like straight?
Try to do his voice. Yeah.
No, I'll read it as best I can. I read it once, and
you should have had him record it. Just like
actually, just
Disneyland.
Hold on. Text him back. Yeah, not even necessarily video. He can just send me audio.
I think it'd be damn funny if he's standing in line at Space Mountain giving a review.
He's definitely not at the park anymore. It's closed for sure. It's 1 o'clock there.
No, but we've got till Wednesday till this thing goes up, right? So.
I see. Like grab it and stick it in afterward.
Yeah.
Welcome to the All Pop No Culture Podcast. I'm your host this week, Opie, and I'm joined as always by Alex.
You almost said Kevin.
Yeah, I almost did.
Hi,
David. Yeah, David.
Hello.
And Pete.
Evening.
So Kevin is not here this week. He's off to some magical place with his family, spending exorbitant amount of money. So he will be listening just like everybody else. He did send along something for me to read on his behalf when we get to that part of the show. But this week we are going to be talking about things we've been watching this week, things to watch or avoid. And then me and David will be talking about movies from our franchises, me having The Godfather and David with the 007 Daniel Craig. Son of a bitch. I wish I had gotten that one. And then we all, for the big watch of the week, the premiere of Godzilla versus King Kong. Or is it King Kong versus Godzilla?
Godzilla versus Kong.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah. So
Godzilla versus Kong. So before we get into all that, David, I believe you said you had been watching a lot this week and had stuff to mention.
Yeah, I did. I got to do some things. First, I got to go to the theater and see Nobody. Which I don't want to ruin for anyone because I liked it quite a lot and would highly suggest that you see it. It's basically like the John Wick premise. You know, you've got a guy who's in his normal life now, but he used to be a badass bad guy, and he got out of it for love. In John Wick, John really loved that life and is angry when it's taken from him, and that he goes back to his murderous ways. In this, Bob Odenkirk's character is just itching for someone to please, dear God, please pull him back into the life he used to live. So that's kind of the difference in the angle of this one. But I enjoyed it. They did some really fun stuff with the music, kind of like Baby Driver. Not as elegant as Baby Driver, but in the same vein. See it. I liked it quite a lot.
I like the preview. And I like Bob Odenkirk, and so I like the angle that they're doing it. So I was definitely planning on seeing. In fact, I was considering maybe making that a return to theater one for me.
Nice. Well, we went and saw it, and there was literally 4 other people in the theater with us, and so
I wouldn't expect it to be a big draw either. By the looks of it, like if you're not a fan of Bob Odenkirk, you probably are just gonna go right by it.
Yeah, well, it looks like half the fun of that is seeing like a fucking shredded Bob Odenkirk fucking killing people. Because I haven't watched Breaking Bad, but I'm familiar with the whole character that he plays and what he does in Better Call Saul.
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, I still haven't watched Breaking Bad.
I know, it's pretty sad.
I'm just thinking about all of the fucking shit you have reviewed over the years. And not one of it being Breaking Bad, but you make time for all this other crap. Oh my God. Just when you think there's nothing this guy could say now that would make me disrespect him even more, but God damn it, he always find another layer.
I can't believe you don't know this. This is
it wipes from my mind because it's such an unbelievable statement. by the time we're done with this show and I go to bed, I wake up, I don't remember that part. And I don't listen to the show. Please continue, David. I'm sorry.
I also, this is an older one. My daughter forced me to watch Bird Box last night. And I remember that being like a whole big thing and all of that stuff. And I gotta say, I wasn't overly impressed. It was fine.
Yeah, it was very, very hyped.
And I really didn't. I wasn't that tensed. Like I just kind of watched it and was at the end was like, okay, I watched it. I did a thing.
Trying to think, why was that? That came out, I think, like right at the beginning of the pandemic.
No,
it was on the heels of Quiet Place, which was
Is that
super
what
hot
it
at the
was?
time, and
I think that's what it was.
It gave people like similar vibes. I think was the big deal about this one.
Now the funny thing is what I wanted to watch was A Quiet Place because I've never seen it. And
wow, you haven't?
And
I haven't seen it either.
Oh my god,
Godzilla versus Kong, the Quiet Place 2 trailer came up.
Turn off your.
Oh damn! I want to see this movie now.
Mike, Pete,
dude, The Quiet Place is phenomenal.
Well, that's what I wanted to watch, but I ended up
good.
watching Bird Box. So
swing and a miss.
It's like when you want to watch Transformers and you accidentally pick up Transmorphers.
Yeah, it's kind of what it felt like.
So you want to watch Transformers, then you watch Transformers 4.
Oh god! Oh,
by mistake.
Oh,
this has robots in it.
And then next, my wife and I have been watching because Pete recommended it, Newsroom, and we've been liking it quite a lot. So
there you go.
So we're making our way through that.
Score one for Pete.
We're not too far into it. And then lastly, on my things other than
that's negative 300 for him now.
Royale. I watched the Lost Blockbuster movie on.
Oh yeah, the documentary. Yeah, it's really good.
It was okay.
I liked it a lot.
I felt like it was at least a half an hour too long. Like there was so much stuff. There was at one point, like it's like 7 minutes of watching Doug Benson walk through and comment on movies that he picks up.
There were definitely a couple of segments for sure that I was like, why does this exist? But I thought overall the entire package was really enjoyable.
Yeah. I thought it was good. I think they could have streamlined it. I think that that's
totally fair.
They wanted to drag it to like an hour, and because I tried to like fit it in and ran out of time, and so I had to pause it, and I was like, man, we're almost done. I hit pause and there's like 20 minutes left, and I turned to my wife and I go, what the fuck left is there to cover? Like we already know everything. Like they're down to one. Like what
did they just like recap real quick, just real quick, just to go back over it so you don't have to rewind.
So
that's not too far from the truth, to be honest.
So that was my critique of that. I would definitely say it was interesting and fun to watch, and it had, it was enjoyable, and it gave you the feel as if you were someone who used to go to a video store a lot.
That's, I think, a big thing that got me. It was less the quality of the product and more the sort of nostalgia that it brings up, I think, was probably the most enjoyable thing.
Because like one of the things they talk about is like the smell, and then as soon as you mention it, you're like, oh, that's right, it did have a smell. My wife's like, oh, I can smell it now. It's like, I can't. I know what it was.
I can't either.
But I can't actually call it memory.
It's like plastic and acetone.
Yeah.
It's
plastic and good dreams.
I know it's there. Yeah. But yeah, it was little things like that, right? They talk about that, and just like we all did, you go, oh, and you try and work through it. So that was kind of like the whole movie.
Yeah.
Was just reliving back to your times, because they didn't really go into it, but I remember the first video store I remember as a kid had two little tags. They'd have a picture of the movie and two little tags on hooks, and one was VHS and one was beta, and you had to remember to grab the right one. Otherwise you were bringing home a movie you couldn't watch. So and we had a VCR, so we were VHS. We did not have a beta deck, which every time you'd show up, all the good movies would have just the beta tags.
Yeah. But beta was kind of short-lived in comparison to VHS. Because I remember beta, but it's always as a past tense. I don't remember when it was the option. The VHS was the first thing that I had memory of.
Oh yeah, no, I definitely there was the option. There were the two tags at the video store, and it was like a mom and pop. It was well before Blockbuster.
Yeah, I remember the shops we used to go to before Blockbuster. We had one that was near our house, and then if we wanted the bigger one, it was Valley Video, and it just that had a lot of videos in it. So
aren't they still there?
I mean, no, that building is, but not the video place.
There's still a video store in Hayward that's open down on not A Street, Mission.
Yeah, the mom and pops are coming back. Fuck you, Blockbuster.
Dude, Viacom should just give that lady like the Blockbuster name and just move on. Like,
yeah, oh, totally.
What good is it to them? And then let her start franchising out to these other mom and pops and start like rebuilding Blockbuster from the ground up.
Is this the lady on the documentary?
Yeah. I told my wife, I was like, if that Blockbuster ever closes, this is the greatest resume of all time, because that woman.
Oh yeah.
Amazing. And anyone who watched that movie and didn't go, I would hire that woman to do any goddamn thing I needed done, was a moron.
Yeah.
Because
she's a savage, dude.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
And that's it.
That's it. All right. Did Alex, did you watch anything this week of note?
I finished up all of the up to current episodes of Superman and Lois.
How many episodes is that?
5 or 6, I want to say. And it actually is on a hiatus until May right now, which I didn't know going into it. So I was kind of upset when I got to the last episode, and then it showed me a trailer and it's like coming in May. And I was like, what the fuck? I would have just waited.
Yeah,
but
there's almost nothing worse than running into the end of a show when you don't expect to.
Especially when you enjoy the show, which I do, and I did enjoy it all the way through.
Okay.
Kind of talking about what Kevin was saying with, you can see the writing on the wall for some of the lame stuff.
Yeah,
it's there a little bit, but I think the first batch of episodes here up until the break was really strong altogether, and I'm excited for it to come back. And that's all I have to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that.
That's all I got to say about that. I didn't watch anything else of note except for what we're talking about later. So that's it.
Okay. Peter?
I did. In fact, I watched Harriet finally.
Keep it tight.
Actually, I do have something else. I've totally forgot.
Peter, we're going to have to come back to you. Hang on. Go ahead, Alex.
It's like a 2-second thing, but I started going through Letter Kenny again because Sam really knows how much I like that show, and she tried to watch a couple episodes with me before, but didn't really click with her.
Yeah.
But she always hears us saying, Letter Kenny shit on the show, and she's like, I'm gonna try again. So we watched a few more episodes of that, and I think
Sam listens to this.
She does, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
That one listen that we have, that's her.
That's hilarious. Well, hi, Sam.
Start mentioning her by name more often.
There you go.
Yeah.
So she
talking to her directly now
instead of me. Just I'll be like a conduit.
I mean, Sam, are you listening to this? Seriously, come on.
I still miss Sam being on the show. I have those like early test recordings.
Yeah,
when Sam was on it, and
it was
before.
Was fun. Yeah. And that was before,
when she's at a point where she's not caring about her reputation, by all means, invite her on.
But yeah, she gave it a few more episodes, so we finished up through season 1.
Okay.
And going back to it, to be honest, season 1 is a bit rough.
Is it?
And it's still good, but it's rough almost less from a content perspective and more from a production perspective. They talk so fast, and you can tell that they don't have very good mics at that point. And sometimes it's really hard to understand what they're saying. And that clears up as they go along and get better equipment, and everything just gets nicer. But even I was kind of struggling, and I was like, I know what they say. Like, I know what all these things mean now, which I didn't the first time I watched it. But even still, it's hard to make out some of the shit that they were saying. So I was like, okay, I mean, this is rough, but it'll get better. And
the timing's also not quite correct.
It's not as good, that's for sure. Yeah, that's for sure. You can see them kind of getting their stride towards the end of the season, but it definitely has some problems. But I still really love that show.
I haven't restarted it yet.
It's still great. I mean, even though it's a little rough around the edges, when you go back, it's still a really great show. So we'll probably continue on with that. Anyways, back to Pete. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it was quite all right. I watched the incredibly socially conscious and moving movie Harriet. about Harriet Tubman.
Oh.
It's no, it's fucking amazing. It really is. It's a really, really good movie. And I want to say, what's her?
What?
Yes, I think it was.
What'd you say, David?
HBO. I asked him if it was on HBO.
I think it was on HBO. They watched it. It's available on it's on one of the ones that we all have. It's really, really good. They take some liberties with their life and and some stuff that it makes the movie interesting, but it's a really, really cool depiction of her in the Underground Railroad, just that time period.
When did it come
history. Out? I want to say
it feels like it's recent.
It was like 2 years ago.
Yeah,
2019 maybe.
Wasn't it? It was nominated, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I feel like it was nominated for something.
She got a nom for.
I imagine Best Actress. Just spitballing here.
Yeah, Best Actress, and it also got
Best Visual Effects.
Best Achievement in
Hey, she got a nom. Yeah, for sound editing. It was weird. She's had a lot of notes throughout the filming. They decided to give her one of the editing credits.
Best cinematography goes to.
It was nominated for both the Oscar and the Golden Globe for Best Actress and Best Original Song and Achievement in Music written for Motion Picture Original Song.
But she didn't win. She's just nominated.
Yeah.
And who is the actress?
Cynthia Erivo. She has been in, what would you know her from?
Well, you would think this, but
she was in Bad Times at the El Royale. I think Kevin watched that. Or was it Alex that watched that?
No, that was Kevin. That wasn't me.
Yeah, she was on a couple of episodes of Broad City. If anybody watched that. Yeah, no, I don't know.
Oh no,
that's the only thing you know her for.
Might be why I didn't really see the movie.
It's worth a watch though. It's really, really good. It's incredibly moving, and not in a you end up hating white people at the end of it kind of way. Like it's.
Oh, okay. Well, that's actually I appreciate that.
No, it's like
a lot of movies.
Yeah, no, you hate the fucking slave owner white dude, and you hate the whole all of slavery, but it's not like you're all the devil, like the beginning of Malcolm X was for how it portrays that in that light. It's good. It's totally worth a watch. It's definitely, you can watch it with the kids. It's got some rougher parts to it, but it's definitely something you can put on and the kids would dig. It's a good history lesson. PG-13.
It's rated NC-17.
Right?
They have to strip them naked when they're going to whip them bloody.
It's realistic. It's realistic. You don't want to see.
But don't worry about the ratings. The kids can watch just fine. Don't worry.
Yeah.
All right. Maybe I'll take a quick look-see before we put the kids down in front of it.
I watched that, and then I'm also doing a little rewatch of Entourage, because you can do it at 28 minutes an episode. Those you just chew through them fast, and you don't even realize you have. It doesn't hold up as well.
Yeah, I just remember
the first time
it and just thinking, I don't know. I felt like midway through the series, I was like, I'm just trying to finish this just because I finished it, because it's all the same thing kind of thing going on.
Yep, I'm in the middle of season 5, which is when it starts to get really rough. It's after the whole smoke jumpers falls apart thing and
spoilers, bro.
To wrench out.
Yeah.
What?
I haven't seen this show. Now I know smoke jumpers is totally screwed, and I'm just like,
oh, you'll know smoke jumpers is screwed from the minute you watch it.
Gosh, now why bother?
I know, right?
No, I was planning on it.
I still feel the exact same way about it as I did the first time. Adrian Grenier, the lead character of Vinny Chase, is boring and annoying to me throughout the whole thing, but everyone else around him, Jerry Ferrara is Turtle, and
called
Kevin Dillon,
right?
But that's
guy.
Exactly, but he's still the focus of the show. but it really is his entourage that outshines the lead the entire time, and you can just watch it for some of Jeremy Piven's antics.
So it's like
It's already
Seinfeld.
gold. Yes,
Everyone outshines Jerry.
Yeah, but it's fun. I'm probably gonna finish it.
Of course. Why
far
wouldn't
in.
you? How many seasons? Is it like 8?
I think it's 9.
Okay.
But like the last season's like super short, and
How many episodes per season?
13.
Yeah, it's
It's an hour long drama.
Oh, half hour
drama. Yeah.
That's not bad, I guess.
No, it's fun. If you've never seen it, it's worth a watch. It's just fun to watch all the like inside baseball Hollywood stuff that they do, and the fucking cast and cameos of people that they get is just fucking ridiculous. And the soundtrack through the entire series is amazing. Like it's completely Shazamable the entire time. Just picking up songs.
And they just had a movie. I didn't see the movie, but they just had a
Shazam.
movie a couple of years ago.
So I watched the movie just because I had finished the whole series at that point.
Mm-hmm.
The movie was literally just a continuation at the end of the series, and it was a 2-hour long Entourage episode. That
Like, is that good or no?
At that point in the series, it was okay.
Okay.
And it was like it felt like they were trying to put an end on it and go okay, and they still ride off into the sunset, but it left you going, okay, it's almost like you cliffhangered it. Like we could do more with this, but it was not good enough that they were ever going to get any sort of a fucking nod to do more of that show or another movie at all.
That's how I felt every time a Friday or the Nightmare on Elm Street movies ended. They would end them like there could be more, but I thought in my head it can't be good enough that anyone could keep making these, and then they just kept making them. So you never know.
Alex, those days are over, buddy.
I can't. They're stuck in my brain.
Let it go.
Yeah, you can't.
Let it go.
You don't understand, man.
I
almost watched the remake because I was like, shouldn't I be watching something Freddy this week? Like I like.
Well,
I'll
tell you,
me now.
If you decide to,
I probably won't.
It's not. I mean, I didn't think it was bad. I mean, knowing that it's a remake of the first one, obviously you're going to see a lot of if not all of the same kind of stuff. It's just updated, gives you a little bit more background on Freddy, and overall, I thought it was okay. I mean, it wasn't horrible. Definitely better than any of the other ones.
I did watch
Jackie
the trailer.
Earle Haley.
Yeah.
Plays Freddy in that one.
It wasn't bad.
I did watch the trailer, and then I was like, "What am I doing to myself?" And I just, I went away from it.
That's hilarious. Yeah, I watched the first 10 minutes, but then I'm like, no, that's all I got time for. What were you talking about? How did we get on to Nightmare on Elm Street?
Because of the Entourage. How I felt it's like there's just no need. Yeah, it's fun. If you've never seen it, it's fun to go back and watch it if you get into it. After 3 or 4 episodes.
You know what movie was really good after the series ended? That you're always kind of worried that they're going to make a bad choice, but it's like why do a movie? Like I know Sopranos is doing that right now. It's more of like
it's a prequel. It's like
a prequel.
It's like Young
so
Tony.
That's interesting. But again, it's like let's hope they don't screw this up because the series was great. So, but what really was good,
I never watched that
the
either.
movie El Camino. That was the follow-up to Breaking Bad. I thought it was pretty good.
I felt it was entirely useless.
I don't think so. It basically it was obviously just Jesse's story at that point, and so just to see, it's just a continuation to see what happened to him. I mean,
it was pretty much exactly what I imagined when the credits rolled after the last episode. Like
frame for frame. I thought of all of this.
I didn't need to see it like printed out. I was like,
even the apartment part where he found the money. Yeah, sure you did.
You get to the end of the movie, and in the credits, it's like written by David. You're like, what?
Oh my God.
I don't even remember doing
that.
that.
That's why I knew what was going to happen.
Yeah, I felt it was kind of unnecessary.
I disagree.
I did
fight.
I agree.
Movie.
I would say it wasn't.
Serenity.
Yeah.
I didn't.
Actually, that movie was better than the entire series.
That's what I always hear. I've never watched either, but that's what I keep hearing. But I would
movie's actually really
agree with you, David, in terms of it was unnecessary. I agree. I don't think it was, like we needed
I
to
don't think
tell
it
a
was
story.
bad. It was,
But I think for
it was
the
well
decision to do the project in general, I thought it was pretty well done. Like it did the show service without like screwing it up. That's all I'm saying. All right. Well, I think should we go into our
Wait, I have breaking news about new food available at Disneyland upon the reopening.
Was this the pickle hot dog thing?
Yes, you can now get a pickle stuffed with a hot dog, dipped in corn dog batter and deep fried, served with a side of peanut butter.
Sounds fucking disgusting.
peanut butter?
Yeah, I don't know.
I have seen people of two parties. They're
now,
that's disgusting party, and that sounds awful, but I'm going to eat that party.
I wouldn't feed that to a dying dog. Like that sounds awful.
Now, aside from the just the sheer like cardiac arrest side of it,
yeah,
the hot dog and pickle and cornbread, I'm down for. I mean, that seems like a nice combination.
It's the peanut butter.
But yeah, why the peanut butter, and how big is this fucking thing? That's the thing. I don't want to look,
It's Disneyland, so it's big.
Yeah.
It's you get it at the corn dog cart in downtown.
Well, no shit. Where else would you get it? Corn dog.
You're on Pirates of the Caribbean. They're just handing them out. You're like, oh,
yeah, okay.
We have an
you only get them at the Hall of Presidents. Oddly enough, yeah. You get it. Well, yeah, that's what you get when you finally get off of It's a Small World.
If you hold your hands up while you're on Space Mountain, sometimes you can grab one.
Yeah,
they're just hanging off of strings. You're like, oh, I got one.
Hey guys, why don't we use the corn dog cart? That's what we have it for. Yeah, that's a good idea. But I just imagine how big is that pickle or how small is that hot dog? Because I mean, I don't know.
Just imagine it's going to be a mutant-sized pickle and a jumbo-sized hot dog, because that's probably what it'll be.
Yeah,
and it'll be $9.
No, it'd be $9.50 just to be dicks.
Oh yeah, I don't have exact change plus tax.
Yeah. All right, fuck it. All right. Well, thanks for that breaking news on the new corn dog at Disneyland. Hey,
show's over. Cancel it.
Kevin, if you're still at Disney World while you're listening to this, keep your ears up. See if you can find the corn dog. I already have 3 of them.
He's going to report back to us next week. Yeah.
Yeah.
I will Venmo you the cost. We want to hear what it tastes.
Oh, hell yes.
And do like a voice memo recording while you're eating it, so we can get your like in the moment reaction. Where you hear him just like, oh God, oh.
Yeah, see if you got your wheezing like Mac did on It's Always Sunny. All right. Well, since we all watched Godzilla versus Kong, why don't
you want to do that or Winter Soldier first?
Oh fuck! I forgot about Winter Soldier. We all watched Winter Soldier, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
We don't have to spend too long on it. Let's just through it real quick.
Let's do that. Let's go ahead.
It was a good solid episode, I thought.
All right, moving on.
I feel like
B plus. Moving on.
Way to keep it tight, buddy. Finally taking notes. All right, let's. Go ahead.
I think it's still interesting to figure out. We've only got 3 episodes of this left, and I know they're an hour long. And WandaVision was a different length. They were like half hour. Blah blah blah. It just it's been good, but I haven't been like completely overwhelmed with it like I was with WandaVision in the beginning.
I don't think you're supposed to be. I think like structurally and just from a story perspective, this is a simpler show. Like it's not really supposed to blow your mind like Wanda did. Like, what's going on? Who is that? What's a beekeeper? Why is there a red helicopter? Like it's just like Bucky and Sam kicking ass, traveling the world. Like it's not really supposed to be anything more than that. And I think it's doing just fine with what it is.
I love Sharon Carter back. I thought
she whooped some ass, dude. She whooped some ass. So did Bucky in the.
Oh hell yes, in that bar.
It was cool to see him kind of engage beast mode again as well.
Yeah.
The only problem I had with the episode was I felt like Sam, because I could see Bucky doing it because he's Bucky, but he's a little gray area. But I think Sam was a little too quick to be like, yeah, we'll break him out of jail. It's fine that he's here. Like he was like, no, we shouldn't do that. Oh, he's here. We're going to get in trouble. Oh, it's fine. And then they just kind of go off and do their mission. And I was like,
Yeah,
that was a little too quick. He's supposed to be like Steve gave him the shield because he's supposed to have the integrity of Captain America. And I feel like if Cap was in that room, he'd be like, we'll find another way. I'm putting him back in jail. Like that's what
Not
Cap would do.
necessarily, though. I mean, you got to remember Civil War. Cap really did kind of go off. If he thinks it's right, he's going to do.
And that's what Bucky brings up to Sam to sell him on it. But I agree with Alex. I like it's there and the justification's there. But I do feel like Sam like bought into it like really quick. Like they were like, we can't spend that much time.
They
on
had
this.
to. I know they had
just
to.
Roll into, just
they just kind of rolled through it. Like from the moment of the first moment of the episode where they're talking about it to him being with them. It was just very quick. I was like, okay. Whatever, it doesn't matter.
I saw what they were going for with that. It wasn't as fun as it should have been if it was a Marvel movie.
Yeah, like I feel like it was the time heist just compressed, like just a bunch of stuff happening very quickly.
Yeah,
but it's all right. I still thought the episode was really good, and the action in this one was fantastic.
Yeah, quite solid.
And it's funny. I don't remember if there's been another kind of Marvel property, even in the like the Captain America movies, where like so many people got shot and like killed.
Yeah.
Like even though they were all the bad guys, like they were like Sharon was just
she was
shooting motherfuckers. Like
I feel like you get a pretty high body count in Winter Soldier, but it's not like it's mostly just like Bucky killing people. It's not really like the good guys.
Yeah.
Like I think Widow shoots a couple of dudes and does a couple of kicky flippy things to a couple of dudes, but like
no, but it's not like Sharon kneeling on a dude and just like putting two in his head. Like
that was
dude, she was badass. It was
great
cool
John Wick on his ass.
This is how they're gonna introduce Deadpool to the MCU.
Yeah.
So first we get the violence on board, then you slip him in, no problem.
He's gonna have a crush on Sharon after that.
Well, no. Is and comic book Dave, I guess I'm asking you more because you may know more of this. Kevin would probably be the one to know this.
Alex, Madripoor, fuck off.
No, I
fucking nerds, whatever.
You may know it too, but Madripoor plays like a central role in some X-Men storylines, doesn't it?
That's outside of my reach. I get my information from Nesto. And if he hasn't given it to me, I don't got it, and I don't have that one.
That name is definitely familiar, but I couldn't tell you where.
No, but I'm sure Kevin would, in fact.
Yeah, Kevin probably. Right now, he's probably like,
at his phone
listening to this. Oh yeah,
monitor, whatever however he's watching it.
We'll know where he is in the episode when we all get the text of who he is.
Yeah.
No, I know that feeling. Every episode that I miss, you guys talk about something. I'm sitting there like screaming at my phone, like it's goddamn Betty Johnson.
Who's Betty Johnson?
I don't know. I just pulled a name. Go ahead.
We know everything. We don't need corrections. Gosh.
We didn't talk about it. We did talk about it for a reason.
Anyways, Falcon and Winter Soldier was good. And if they keep the pace that they're at, it will be a good show all the way through.
Yeah.
And I don't think it really needs to be anything else besides what it is. Just a
doesn't feel
world.
In this episode like they were making any headway on Sam becoming Captain America.
Yeah, that has actually taken a big fat back seat.
Yeah.
I think that's gonna be the final episode.
Or maybe they're gonna save it for another movie or something. Like we don't know. So
we don't? Oh, okay.
But yeah, that's my other thing. I feel like that was going along, and then in this episode it just kind of disappeared. And and it feels very much like they're not heading in that direction anytime soon.
Well, new Cap as well took a pretty big backseat this episode.
Yeah,
he wasn't. Yeah. He was only in like a scene or two.
Yeah, just kind of throwing his weight around, not really getting anything done.
Yeah.
He kind of looked more ridiculous in his role as Captain America in this episode. Like you don't seem like Captain America as much as you seem like a dude walking around in a costume.
For sure. Yeah.
Does it also, the way that the helmet with the mask fits him, just make him look kind of weird?
It makes him look pretty goofy. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
like
why
Chris
all of
Evans,
my
like
friends
it
refer to
works
him as
so
Jonesy
well.
Captain America.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, he's just got, I don't know, he's got big ears and a big chin, and the way that it kind of sits and it doesn't look great.
It
But-
accentuates all of his bad features.
Yeah, basically.
Or takes his features that are boldest and makes them look bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Because he's not, I mean, if he takes the helmet off, he's not an ugly dude. He's
No.
pretty handsome. I mean, he's Kurt Russell's kid. He's pretty handsome. But for some reason, in that helmet, oh boy.
It's quite
No,
unfortunate.
he's no Cavill, I'll tell you that much.
The first time he came out, my first thought was, did
settle
they
down.
not do a screen test with this kid? Like, because either that or he pissed off the costume department because they did him dirty.
They had this really nice helmet for him and they just threw it away, like starting over.
They're like,
they're
"Screw
standing
this
on
guy."
they're standing off camera at that first shot when he comes walking out of City Hall, and they're going, "We did our best. We
Yeah.
did our best."
We're gonna
There's
put
upset.
flaps behind his ears to push them outward so that they're even more accentuated.
This guy's gonna get death threats online for sure.
Oh my God, that shit again.
So
It's actually happening as well,
Yeah.
which is so
What?
stupid.
Oh yeah, no, he's getting death
The
threats.
new Cap is getting death threats like every other actor that for some reason writes, directs, produces, and does all the visual effects for every scene that they're in because it's all their fault. It's it's the typical fanboy thing of like, this guy
Yeah.
sucks, blah blah blah. He's not
So
Cap. It's like,
the
yeah,
fucking
we
pajama
know
people
he's
came
not
out and
Cap.
complained.
So,
that kind of stuff drives me crazy, which is why I don't have any social media. But it just also makes me laugh to think that somebody thinks that their one opinion matters to anybody. I just think about the level of arrogance of someone who sends that out. He's
Yeah.
not Cap. Puts it down like I fucking now everyone knows.
Now
He's
everyone
not Cap.
The only people's opinions who matter are ours.
It's like, geez, he's not Cap. They're all wondering what's Oak think about this. Oh, Oak says he's not Cap. He's not Cap then. Like, God damn, Jesus. Kind of stuff drives me crazy. All right, yeah. So yeah, I agree as well. I think I mean it's the story's moving along. Like a lot of people say with Mandalorian and all the Star Wars stuff, is like, hey, it's more Star Wars. Just give me more Star Wars. It's like this is more Marvel. And
Yeah.
it's it's not bad. It's certainly not bad. We're finding out how good it will be so far. It's seems it's entertaining. It makes me want to watch next week. I am curious to see though, with only 3 episodes left, if they kind of start ramping up the story or the action or like the plot of what this season is really all about, kind of thing. So it's progressing. So
Does somebody have
Yes.
a TV going on in the background?
That might be my outside.
Okay.
I'm gonna close the window because
I was gonna say there's TVs outside just on.
yeah, they're stacked up on the wall behind my apartment.
yeah.
Just playing all kinds of broadcasting.
Just random stuff. Yeah, just
Yeah.
every TV is different. It's the Robot Chicken Studios. So we
I'm gonna close it right now.
So I guess then me and David shall go through our reviews of 2 movies that I'm sure most people listening to us have at least seen. You would think, yeah, for different reasons, but
I would really like to hope most people have seen yours. And if
I would hope so too.
Yeah.
But I'm finding a younger generation that may not, they may have missed it so far, or they're not, where I saw this, I'm thinking my teens.
Yeah.
They may be catching it in their 20s, late 20s or something kind of thing. Because there's so much content nowadays than it was then too. So
yeah.
but anyway, who would like to go first? You?
Sure. I can go first.
Cool. Why don't you go first? You beat me to it.
Yeah. So I have the Daniel Craig 007 series, and it starts with Casino Royale, which I have to say is probably the best one he does. And I have seen all of them already. And this one I thought was really cool. It's a Bond origin story for anyone who hasn't seen it. He does not start out with 007 status, and you get to see him earn it in the opening scene, which is very noir. It's black and white, high contrast, the angles and all that stuff. It's really fantastic. And then, he completes his kill. He earns his 007 status. And then he basically goes on his first mission, which he doesn't go so well. And then he has to do like subsequent follow-up mission. I believe he ends up shooting up a embassy, something like that. Really, really good stuff to start off with.
That's a big no.
Yeah, I don't want to give too much away because if I remember,
I haven't seen it yet.
Seen this, and
God damn, you just fill your time with shit.
Yeah,
because everything we're saying that's worth watching, you're like, missed it, haven't seen it, don't got time for that.
Casino Royale is
still working
genuinely
on my third watch through of SpongeBob.
Yeah, it's really solid. It is definitely Bond's origin story. He is not suave in this film. He is a blunt instrument in this film, and you just see him gain his refinement slowly throughout the film. By the end of the film, all the stuff that he goes through, I think, really informs the performance you get from Daniel Craig from this point on. So I thought it was really cool. So highly recommend.
Yeah,
it's a damn fine Bond film.
I remember when that came out. We me and the wife saw it at Downtown Disney's movie theater, the AMC. We were
R.I.P.
Yeah,
I know. I loved that place.
Me too.
So, but that was no one knew who Daniel Craig was really at the time, and so everyone was curious to see who this Bond was. And as far as that goes, I mean, I think he's the best. Those are definitely the best Bond films, and I think he so far has been the best Bond, at least that I've seen, and having gone back and watched the other ones, and they just don't age well. And so it's like I'd say second might be Connery, just in terms of the the story. I don't know, just the original Bond, because the rest of them weren't that great. But this will be a hard one to beat. So I'd be curious to see who takes over the mantle and where they start that story.
Yeah.
The one thing I thought that was interesting was that Q was still being played by the same actress. So whereas or M. Yeah. Whereas because when she's revealed in there, I'm like why? I'm like, I know her obviously as an actress, but I'm like, I feel like this is like a big reveal or something. It just felt like that. And then it wasn't until later I'm like, oh, that's right, she played the same character during the Pierce Brosnan films. And so I was like, okay, that's interesting that they just kept her. But it was I agree. I think it's great. You have a lot of good films. I mean, even the next one is probably, I think, everyone's least favorite. But
yeah. I remember it being my least favorite.
Yeah, I just rewatched this not too long ago, within the last year, the whole series, and it's not that great, but at the same time, there's entertaining stuff. It's just you could definitely get worse, right, Alex?
You sure could.
So yeah, I always like that. The saddest moment in that movie that I still react to every time I see it is the demolition of that Aston Martin.
Oh yeah,
that car, man. I don't know what it is. Like that's just that car was just awesome looking. It's just a nice car, and then just the way I remember. My wife remembers in the theater when we watched it the first time. I had like a actual reaction. I was like, oh. It's like I
just sitting there like this the whole time, like
I believe when this movie came out, that was like the premiere of that version of the Aston Martin, that like their super
gotta be
step into that field, right? Because there weren't a lot of cars like that now it feels like everyone's manufacturing a supercar of some sort, but at the time, like Aston Martin stepped in the ring and you were like, oh, that's a slick ass car.
I just hope they got that on one take. Cause I don't know.
Yeah, they're not rolling real ones though. Those are like empty shells with like
for sure.
Yeah.
Look at that thing, man. Anyway, that scene always gets me. All right. Well, so you have a recommendation, and as do I. I am watching the classic Godfather series. If you have not ever seen that and you're listening to this, stop this and go watch that, because it for multiple reasons. I mean, one, it is a good movie, but just the style of acting that you don't really see a lot of in today's films, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's just, the evolution of, acting, I think, but just the kind of performances that you're seeing and the type of the way that just, it's a good example of how films were being made in the 70s.
The cast is
70s.
Bonkers good too.
And
like,
the cast is
ridiculously unmatched good.
I imagine a lot of people, in today's generation may not recognize a lot of the actors in there in terms of who they are, because they haven't seen enough, or there's nothing current that they're usually doing outside of Al Pacino, who looks nothing like he does in The Godfather. But yeah, so if you haven't seen The Godfather, it's a classic movie written by Mario Puzo, it's lost his name.
Directed by Martin Scorsese.
Yeah.
No, it's
that's Goodfellas. This is
Coppola.
Francis Ford
That's
Coppola.
Coppola, I know.
Yeah. Anyway, it's if you like mob movies, this is like a classic one. Marlon Brando plays.
I think this is the mob movie.
The mob movie.
The other mob movies
so.
are all trying to be The Godfather
on some level. Yeah.
This movie's also very long. It's I think 2 hours and 45 minutes. Which is a half an hour shy of what Godfather Part 2 is. So I'll be watching that sometime this week.
Have you read the book?
You know what? I don't know. I know I had the book, and back when I would actually read books, I can't remember if I read it or not.
It is Mario Puzo's book.
Yeah.
And it is The Godfather's Part 1 and 2. That is the book.
Yeah.
It is both movies.
So I'll just say I haven't read it.
So if you're like, if we're being like clear, like The Godfather, the movie is the two movies put together. So it runs nearly 6 hours.
Yeah. So that explains Godfather 3.
Yeah.
It wasn't part of that book. So now yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about The Godfather, without, giving away, other than it's, just a great movie, great story. It's very interesting to see how, some of the character arcs happen. And they could have, honestly, well, I guess they couldn't have left it at that. I mean, as far as a movie goes, they could have left it at that. But as far as if it's all part of the same book, then I could see why they would have to make 2 and 3, or 2. 2, I remember, it's one being long, but just because of the telling kind of like the 2 stories simultaneously, just cutting back and forth. That's why it'd be interesting to watch it in chronological order, just to see if it, resonates differently. But yeah, long movie, 2 hours 45 minutes, but the must watch for anybody who likes movies. It's entertaining. And I think it ages well. I
was gonna say it's one of the only one of those like classic movies like that always get put on those like greatest movies of all times that still holds up incredibly well. Like Gone with the Wind, it's a brilliant movie for the time it was made, but it's you watch it now and Gone with the Wind, you're like, whatever. Godfather, you put it on and it's still fucking dope.
So, well, there you have it. All right. So those are our recommendations, or our franchises for this week. Moving on to Godzilla versus Kong. Now,
Yeah.
should I read Kevin's review first, or should we kind of just save it till afterwards, and we can see if his remarks are similar to ours?
I say we save it.
I say we save it too.
Yeah.
And since I'm the one that has it, we're just gonna save it.
Just delete it.
Erase it. Fuck it. I'm taking him out of my contacts.
Yeah.
He is blocked now. All right. Well, who saw it in the theater?
David and
I definitely
I.
saw it in the theater.
Okay. And then Alex, you also saw it at home though?
Yes. I watched it again today.
Okay. And Pete, you saw it at home?
Yeah. I'd say yesterday.
And I saw it at home. Who wants to go first?
Oh, I see you over there.
Let Alex go first.
Get that monkey off.
Okay,
the
yeah,
screen.
Alex, you go first.
Get that
It's only right.
fucking monkey off the screen. Piece of shit opposable thumbs. What to say? I thoroughly enjoyed Godzilla versus Kong. I think it steps up everything that King of the Monsters did well, another level higher than that, including the human stories / acting. It still wasn't great, but it was a hell of a lot better than the one in King of the Monsters. The characters were more enjoyable, the acting was better, and they gave more time to Kong and Godzilla to punch the shit out of each other. They did it in broad daylight, thankfully. Like, you could actually see what was happening. Everything that they did was fucking incredible. And it's not like the greatest movie ever made, but in this series of movies, I think it's probably one of the strongest. I'm not sure if it beats Godzilla 2014 still for me. I'd probably have to go back and watch that one again. But if it's not number one, then it's number two for sure. In terms of these four films, in my opinion, I enjoyed it a lot. And watching it a second time at home, I was like, let's see if it's like the same, like, because the theater obviously gives you the theater high, but I still really enjoyed it at home. In fact, it felt like when I was watching it at home that it actually moved a lot faster. When I was in the theater watching it for the first time, some of the exposition parts in the beginning were a little plodding for me, and I was like, okay, let's go. Like, and when I watched it for the second time, it didn't feel like that. Like, they went by much quicker. I don't know if that was just because I knew it was coming or what, but it was still really enjoyable on a repeat viewing. So 2 thumbs up from me. Who's next?
All right,
I enjoyed the bejesus out of it. It was exactly what I thought it was going to be. You're spot on with it. It's better than King of Monsters, especially the human parts. They were still not good, but that's not what I wanted out of this movie anyway. I wanted King Kong and Godzilla beating the shit out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a really fun, entertaining Godzilla movie. You know what you're getting going into it. You buy into the physics and the biology of this world because you have to. It's, there's parts at which it's incredibly cheesy. Like, some of the Kong emoting stuff is real kind of cheesy when you're watching it. I did like the little girl with the sign language. I thought that was kind of cool.
I like their character, like her, and then Gia was the little girl, and then Eileen was the doctor who was kind of her caretaker. I really enjoyed their arc with Kong. That, I think they were probably the strongest human characters, maybe that we've had in the whole franchise, but for sure this movie. Alexander Skarsgård was fine, but he was just kind of there. He didn't really do much. He wasn't bad. He was just kind of present,
kind of there to be the punchline.
Yeah, to a degree. The coward thing paid off really, really well, by the way.
It did.
I did not expect that to pay off as well as it did. Like, when it happened, I was like, that, I genuinely lulled. I was like, that was fucking hilarious. Like,
I didn't expect the callback either. I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was good. But I really enjoyed, like, the Kong, Team Kong, as far as the humans were concerned, was very strong. Team Godzilla a little less so, but still not as bad as the last movie.
Yeah, I almost, like, I get why they did what they did with Millie Bobby Brown and that whole aspect of it. I think because of the way they did it, the Mechagodzilla reveal was it could have been bigger.
Well, I think pretty much everyone knew it was coming was the thing.
Yeah.
So like,
everyone
it wasn't
knew
a surprise.
Yeah, they find that thing and you're like, well, that's obviously a fucking eyeball. Like you look at it and you're like, what's like, what else could that be?
Yeah.
But it was just fun. You know, I watched it with, you know, my wife and kids. We all enjoyed it. There are fun parts at the end that you can like sit there and kind of like almost laugh and make fun of at the same time, because it leans into it perfectly, but you still like it. The funniest thing, did any of you notice like the one random fucking helicopter that they fly through the frame when Kong is like, it's at the end of the movie, he's like walking through the city, it's just a side shot of him set up against the building, and there's just this fucking helicopter that they just this one random ass helicopter that flies
it's right after the final fight, right when he sits down against the build. I didn't think anything of it.
I don't know why, it just caught my attention, and I was like, what the fuck is that helicopter doing there?
He's just checking it out. He's getting the front row seat.
And it's completely funny. Like it wasn't one of those things where like I noticed it and it took me out of the fun of the film. It was just like I was trying to figure out why they would have put that in there.
I just figured it was military.
Yeah.
Like they launched jets and shit as soon as Godzilla came out of the Hong Kong Bay. So there was a bunch of stuff in the air that he didn't, if he didn't blow it up. So who wants to go next?
So I enjoyed the shit out of this movie. I saw it in the theater with a whole big crowd, and I felt like if you saw the other three films, like you knew everything you needed to know to buy into every bit of this film. My wife and daughter had not seen those films, so they were a little lost.
Oh, that's rough.
It didn't really translate as well for them, but I loved the movie. I thought it was great. The whole Millie Bobby Brown section was a huge swing and a miss for me. It was not good.
It's unfortunate because I think she's good, but what they gave her to do is not good.
Oh no, but the whole thing, like, and I liked the characters, but the whole subplot just didn't work. It's like at all.
Yeah, I liked the little kid from Deadpool 2 a lot more than I liked him in Deadpool 2.
I feel the exact opposite.
The Wilder People?
Did you see what?
The Taiko movie?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that, but I know he's in that.
Yeah.
Hunt for the Wilder People, right?
Yeah, it's so good. He's in it, and he slays in that movie. He's way better in that than anything else you've seen him in.
Yeah, I actually like him better in Deadpool 2 than I did in this. He leaned into the bumbling friend way too hard, but like the other guy was also kind of that. He was and I was like, we don't need two of these.
Yeah.
Well, it was I found myself saying, like, when one of my daughters would ask me a question about it, she's like, well, wait, why did they do that? I just found myself saying, because plot. Like, it's a plot point.
Yeah, I mean
that's why they did it. Like,
that is what they were. Yeah.
It's like all of a sudden at the end, he's suddenly a computer hacker that's going to figure out the password.
At least he didn't succeed. At least he didn't succeed at that. That was fine with me.
I was hoping they were going to do something cool with taking out Mechagodzilla, like, you know, maybe use some of the plenty of explosives around to blow up one half of the skull, right? Or at least trash the machinery inside because they were psychically linked,
right?
Even if they weren't, you know, working with the pilot anymore. But no, they solve it with bourbon accidentally poured into the computer. Like, even that.
Well, it was purposefully poured. At least that was on purpose.
Into the console. That was the best part, and it shut everything down.
That whole everything for that storyline for me just didn't work. But that being said, this is easily my favorite of the four. I enjoyed it quite a lot. I thought the reasoning for why Kong and Godzilla fought made perfect sense. You know, because I was a little confused, like, why would they fight? They're both good guys. But I get it. And I thought they did a really nice job of establishing that early and you know, moving from there. And so I bought in the whole time, other than the Millie Bobby Brown stuff.
And I did like that they didn't bring, because it's both, don't both Mothra and Rodan survive the last one?
A lot of Titans survive, but in the beginning of the movie, if you remember when they're doing the beginning credits, they're basically doing like a semi recap, but also just kind of that like quick thing where they black out all the text, like redacted text.
Yeah.
And they go through and they say like, it shows Godzilla fighting the Muto, and then it says defeated. And then it shows Kong fighting the Skullcrawler, it says defeated. Then Godzilla fighting Ghidorah, and it says defeated. And then it pans out and you just see Kong and Godzilla left, and everyone else.
I saw that. Yeah, like it was
I haven't been able to look to see if Rodan and Mothra are part of that batch, but it seems like after King of the Monsters, Godzilla was like, time to clean house, and he fucking killed all the Titans. Like, it's what it seems like. They don't say that. They just give it in the context of the credits. But I was like, what happened? Like at the end of the last movie, they were all just bowing to him. And then it showed in the credits of that one that they kind of went off and did their own thing. And wherever they ended up, like nature ended up growing nicer or whatever it was, you know, but in the beginning of this one, because I think this is 3 or 4, maybe even 5 years after. I can't remember exactly how long after King of the Monsters. I think 3 years. So it's been a while. So I guess he's had time to do it if he wants to. Or no, they said they haven't seen him in 3 years at the beginning of the movie. Like he's been away for 3 years. So I don't know if that's how long it's been or if he did some shit.
We gotta keep it close because of Millie Bobby Brown.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, she did seem considerably older in this one. Like she was in high school and stuff. So
I did love that they used Hong Kong. It looked gorgeous as a backdrop.
Such a cool set.
So good.
Getting just destroyed.
It gave me super fat Pacific Rim vibes when they go into the city and the kaiju and the Jaeger fight for the first time, and that like all the colors and shit. I was like, this is, and that's what I mean. Like you could see what was happening. It wasn't surrounded by smoke and fog and rain and all this other shit. And it was at night, but it like progressed into the daytime, which I thought was really cool. Like it was early in the morning technically when it happened. So I love that. But man, what a fun film. What do you think, OP? Do you agree with this, or are you about to shit all over us right now?
Well, Alex, I knew you would love it just because
Godzilla's my man.
There's just because I guess for the most part you accept everything that you're about to see, knowing what you're going to see, so you can see it with a certain viewpoint in mind, which I can as well, having seen the previous. But I must have amnesia because I always fucking forget how horrible the acting and storytelling is. Like I remember, because it wasn't that long ago that I saw King of the Monsters, and it's like, God, that was just, the stories were stupid. I mean, that was just stupid.
Trash in that movie, absolute trash.
It's pretty
bad.
bad.
This one, in my opinion, is no better at all. Like
really, no better at all.
Unless again, I'd have to go back and see the King of the Monsters to really, judge them. Which maybe I will. Maybe I'll make that my assignment since I just saw this. I have a fresh memory of it. Fuck, man, that was rough. The second I saw Julian
dug
Dennison,
the whole Hollow Earth story, like that's
okay.
That whole thing worked.
Yeah,
I loved that story.
That was
Hollow Earth. It wasn't look hollow at all.
I mean, they've established that in previous movies.
Yeah, like if you buy into the previous films, the Hollow Earth theory makes perfect sense in this universe.
It was just another one of those things that I said, okay, I've already like accepted the idea that a 30-story tall creature could exist metabolically in this world. So if I can accept that, I can accept the rest of it. And so just all the whole gravity thing, like, because that, even there was something in there, I forgot what it was, that did, like, they didn't play by the physics of the world they created in there.
It was when Godzilla atomic breathed his way into the earth.
Yeah.
And went all the way down into Hollow Earth. Whereas before they had to take like a special portal to get there. And it's like, so you could just drill down there, then just do that. Like why, why deal with all the gravity shit? But yeah, I recognized that as well. I'm like, oh, I guess you could have just the whole time just fucking drilled down to the core and that would have worked just
they
as
didn't
easily.
have atomic breath just like readily available to get down there.
But they had something.
They
that
had
could drill a fucking
Mechagodzilla, who
tunnel
has
from Tampa, Florida to fucking Hong Kong with a maglev train. So why not?
well, Mechagodzilla has equivalent to, if not more powerful than, atomic breath, and the people who were trying to get there was Apex. Like they could have probably used that. That's what I'm saying. Is like, of course, there's going to be plot holes in a movie like this because it doesn't matter because you're not here for that.
Exactly.
You're here to watch Kong punch Godzilla and then Godzilla bitch slap Kong. Like it's just that's all you're here for.
I feel like it's not so much plot
And then to watch them
holes.
both double team Mechagodzilla at the end.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I grant you, and I've said this to anybody who's asked. The fight scenes and the CGI, that was cool. I mean, that was, that would be worth seeing it in the movie theater. I could see the advantage to that.
It was fucking epic.
But then it was some of the stuff with Kong and that little girl. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
I knew he was gonna not like that part.
I could understand him being taught sign language to a point, but from a little kid, and he's gonna fucking see that on a boat when it's fucking pouring rain. He's freaking out that he's captured. Which, by the way, how the fuck did he get on the boat in the first place? They're like, you know what? We need to take him off the island. Okay, let's do it. Next thing, he's on the boat. It's like, yeah, how the fuck did you do that? How did you drug King Kong, and how did you drag his ass onto a boat? All that was like, that's a movie right there. Like
that's in a net.
That is a movie. That's the movie King Kong, the original movie.
Oh no, man! This is like so that kind of thing right there. I was talking about it where when things in the story or things like that just are out of place for me, I'm just like, did I just really fucking see a scene like that? That's halfway into the next action thing. I kind of miss because I'm watching the screen, but I'm not thinking about what I'm watching. I'm thinking about what I just saw. And then I catch up to the actual fight stuff. I'm like, okay, that looks pretty cool, or this and that. But I don't know, man. So some of that stuff with Kong and that little girl, I was just like,
I liked it just because it played into the mythos of Kong and the girl. Like that's always been a thing.
That's fine. My point, I'm thinking of more the actual physics of the whole thing. Like she is the smallest moment. Thing. The small, yeah. He's gonna feel that with that calloused ass finger.
I thought the same thing, but here's the thing. But this
he keeps going, accidentally squishes her against the building.
It's touching.
But
I know.
Did I even consider that?
But no, see, I did. I thought this is the thing. Everything you're saying, Opie, I acknowledge. I thought the same thing, but it's like you said about what how Alex goes into these movies. I went into this movie expecting a bunch of cheese dick shit.
Well, so was I.
All I wanted to see was Kong and Godzilla fight. That delivered for me enough that the rest of it, I was whatever.
So Alexander Skarsgård's arc is quite the journey throughout this film, where he starts off as like a disgraced professor with an office in the basement to all of a sudden flying craft that is of next generation shit out of an area that no one's ever been at after you've successfully uploaded a sample of are you fucking kidding me? Where did you get the signal for that? He's not used to fucking AT&T, I'll tell you that. Jesus Christ.
I had all those same thoughts for that, like when he jumped into the pilot seat and took over, I was like, well, that's awfully convenient.
I also thought it was interesting that costume-wise, they chose to give him a haircut.
Well, yeah, he was supposed to be like disheveled at the beginning of the movie, and then when he went back and talked to the Monarch people, he's like, well, I got to be presentable now. I got to look like I got my shit together. That makes total sense.
I can't look like a professor that was locked in the basement.
Well, no, but that was the whole thing. It was that his brother attempted the whole down into the hollow earth thing, and the gravity flipped him around and killed him, and he was never heard from again. And so that's
he got smushed. He got smushed.
That's his whole drive for going.
He too.
I admit, Opie, everything you're saying is completely valid. I just hit the point with going into this movie. I didn't care. Like they didn't. I
don't give a shit.
It's not what this is not the kind of movie where I'm looking for fucking consistency with stuff like that in.
No, you gotta keep my attention. That's why, like, in my opinion, the first Godzilla is the best one for me. because it is actually a better.
It's grounded much more in reality.
It's better, yes, a better story in my opinion. Like the last one, I do remember the entrance of Kyle Chandler and his character of like, who the fuck is this guy? To now he's leading the fucking army. Go fuck yourself.
Thank God he was not in this movie that much. I was so.
That's the only thing. I was like, I wonder if that was in his contract. It's like, okay, I'll do the next one, but I'm not in it.
Yeah.
Oh well, they also.
I don't think it was
be
his
there for
choice.
a couple of phone calls, and that's it.
Yeah.
They aged the shit out of him for what he was in.
Well, yeah. I mean, again, this is supposed to be quite a bit later.
Like, how convenient that he finds his daughter in the area that.
Oh yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Moments earlier, finding out she's even in Hong Kong.
Yeah, how the fuck did he get to Hong Kong? It was just one of those things.
He
must have taken the tube.
I knew they contacted him. I'm just saying in that time frame when things were happening, I just didn't care. I was like, whatever. She met her dad. I knew that was gonna happen. You know that's gonna happen when you see the two of them at odds fighting in the beginning. You know they're gonna wrap it up in the end where the two of them wind up coming together on screen. Like there was nothing. I didn't care.
I really liked that they didn't try. The one thing I can give them credit for, shush. The one thing that I didn't give them credit for.
One take Charlie's.
Is they didn't like smash together Team Kong and Team Godzilla. Like they never met, they never talked. They never like, oh, you're that person and you're this person and oh, you speak to Kong and she does sign language. What? Like they never even tried it. Like at the end of the movie, they were near each other because both Kong and Godzilla were there, but they never said a word to each other. And I was like, good, they shouldn't. Like they why would
There's
they
no
meet?
reason for it.
Yeah, like why would they ever meet? They don't know each other. So I'm really happy that they didn't do that because I was like, I'd hope they don't like team up and let's help them together or something. Like I was hoping that didn't happen. So thumbs up on that. And then they didn't force the Alexander Skarsgård and then Dr. Eileen, whatever her name is, into a relationship. I'm happy they didn't do that too. I was worried about that. I was like, oh boy, here we go. But yeah,
because that would have ruined it.
The human stuff is not what matters.
No shit.
This movie is especially from a visual and sound design perspective, it's freaking immaculate. If you really pay attention, it's insane.
I want to see. I would watch a movie, even if it was like 45 minutes of just
all the monster shit.
With maybe just little reaction shots of the humans. But I swear to God, this is like this. All right, here's what we're doing. This one, Godzilla versus Kong. What we're doing is here's all the fight layouts. Here's the choreography. Here's what we're doing. You guys go right and film whatever the fuck you want. I don't care. Just you need to keep it tight at a nice 32 minutes. You understand me? Make it so I can cut up the scenes and I'll put this in between. I don't care what the fuck it is. Just put it on. Surprise me. Opening night. That's the first time I'm seeing it.
There you go.
And there it is. Like he did it again. He gave us a green light again.
I don't know if it happened at your theater, David, because when the scene at the end of the movie, not the end, but when Kong is down and Godzilla's got his foot on him and he's standing over him, when he leans in, you know that like low rumble sound that accompanies Godzilla a lot of the time? It's like that wah noise. Like usually it's like to signify he's coming. That noise, like the swell of it was so intense that it started shaking our theater, like whole building. It was insane. I was like, what the fuck? Like, because like the scene, it shows like the foot come down and then it shows it from like Kong's POV and like Godzilla's like leaning into him and the sound just starts swelling louder and louder as he gets closer to the screen and it's just like shaking by the end of that scene. I was like, fuck, like that was so cool, dude. Like it was
we definitely had that. And what I loved was before the film started, you're in your theater and you're just sitting there and then all of a sudden the theater starts shaking and you're like, fuck yeah, man, I am in for it. Like you're like, you know it's coming in the future now. It's like, yeah, we were in there and all of a sudden there was it was that scene. It was a big woo and like the whole theater shook and everyone in there just kind of smiled a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
Knowing like
here it comes, baby.
This is what we're in for. This is what we're going to get. Yeah, it was fun.
It was fun, dude. And yeah, this movie like is gorgeous. Like it's shot beautifully. Like the compositing, all of the visual effects, Hollow Earth, regardless of how you feel about the concept, is such a cool landscape. It's one of like my favorite fantasy-esque landscapes that I've probably seen in a movie. It gives me like Pandora vibes. Not quite the same, but like it's similar. And I'm all in for that. Like it was such a cool set piece. And now Kong has a nice big house. He had like a little apartment, and now he has a nice big house.
He had a throne too before it got all jacked up.
Oh yeah, until Godzilla blew it up. He's like, I'm the king, bitch, not you.
No throne for you. After having just watched Justice League, like the CG in this is just light years better than the crap really that they were doing. I mean, even Mechagodzilla, you could argue, is, you know, similar in concept to Cyborg, and Mechagodzilla looked immaculate. I mean,
the only thing is they don't have to mix in a real person's face through like
I don't think they were doing that in Justice League.
No, they were. That's his real face. And then but Cyborg doesn't look good. But speaking of Mechagodzilla, I did not like his design. I was not a fan. I wondered
a little bit about that too. I'm not a huge Godzilla fan. Like I haven't seen the other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, this is my biggest exposure to it. And but I saw him and was like, I wonder how this is going to read to the big fans.
It's not that his original design was that great. It's just that the new design was, he kind of looked like a tree frog with a tail, like the way his body was shaped. Like, and I was just like, it's kind of weird, right?
Thicker.
Yeah, he was very thin.
Yeah,
he looked like I don't know. And then the thing about it is, and I think we've all seen it. If you remember at the end of the Ready Player One, however you feel about that movie, when the guy pulls out Mechagodzilla and fights Iron Giant, that Mechagodzilla design is awesome. Like it's a really good design. And I was kind of hoping that they were going to just rip that off entirely because it was really good. And they went a totally different direction. And I was like, that's a miss for me. But I know they're about to beat his ass, so it doesn't really matter. He's not going to be around for very long. So
I like that they went with like the anime style missiles that like come out of little pods.
Well, they came out of his fingers. Yeah, his fingers were what shot the missiles in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, they gave him a lot of cool. There was, again, like all these movies, there's a ton of throwbacks. Like the way that Kong gets choppered over to Antarctica in the original King Kong versus Godzilla, which is the difference. The titles are different. That's how he gets like brought to Godzilla. He gets airlifted over to Godzilla. So that's a throwback. When he sticks the axe handle into Godzilla's mouth when he's about to blow fire, he does that in the original movie, but it's with a tree. Like there's all these different little things that they do that are little throwbacks. When they use the depth charges to like disorient Godzilla when he's basically dragging Kong down to a watery grave. That's something that they do in the very first Godzilla movie when they're trying to kill him. Before they know how to kill him, they're just dropping depth charges, and there's a whole scene with that. And they're like, they think they got him, and of course they didn't. So, yeah, I mean, I'm a nerd for all that kind of shit, and they had a bunch of that in this, just like all the other movies. So I was all about it. I know the human shit is dumb. I know. I don't care. I don't fucking care. Watching my boy G-Zilla fucking thrash that stupid monkey, I was like,
what are you talking about, man? That monkey held his own.
No, he didn't. Watch it a second time. He's on the back foot the whole time. He's literally running away, and he comes in and gets a couple cheap shots, and then Godzilla's like, fuck off me. And then he starts running away again, and then he comes back for another couple.
Godzilla would be dead if it wasn't for Kong.
See? That right.
Kong would be dead 5 times over if it wasn't for the humans who kept saving him during every single fight. So let's be real about that.
And turn their magnetic car into a defibrillator. I love
that's
that.
True.
I saw that coming a mile away.
I know, he landed. I was like, oh, clear.
The car to jump his heart. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah. I mean, again,
I love it. I love how they all understand the fucking physics of that car in and
I know.
Yeah, he's just flipping switches on the console. Like, this will work.
Like, what? Yeah, God, that stuff just drove me crazy. I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
But that's
to be fair, he used to work for Monarch. They did specify that he did used to work for Monarch. He has experience with Hollow Earth. His brother worked on the team that went down. He does know shit. Like, he knows shit at least. They gave him a little bit of a background that he should know. He shouldn't know about the car, like for sure, because that's new technology. But he knows about all the other shit.
He comes from the same bloodline as Diana's lover, with Chris Pine's character, right? Who figures how to fly future technology. This is just
I can fly this jet. Yeah,
it comes up down the line.
He's got this.
If you're a super pilot at one point, you're a super pilot forever.
That's fair.
It's just so stupid.
This is established in these franchises.
This is Hollywood canon, you guys. Hollywood canon.
And that little girl, man, like she's in the same outfit in every fucking scene. I'm like, God, even
that's how Godzilla recognizes her.
Kong.
Even
Kong. That's right. That's how Kong recognizes her.
Godzilla's like, "What's up, girl?" Like,
yeah.
No, that's that's because Kong. It is for Kong's recognition.
Yeah.
I mean, he lived on the island with that tribe forever, and she's the only one left. So I think that's just for his sake, to be honest.
And he's seeing her every time. It kills me. It's like, yeah, and when he's in the new area and she's standing on the side of the cliff, he just sees her out of the corner of his eye. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me.
Okay, fuck it. Like, she wouldn't have gotten washed off the deck of that ship in that rainstorm when she was walking out to sea.
Oh my God.
You buy it.
Oh, wait.
She was
I
like
forgot.
60 pounds.
Also,
All right.
they established Kong has very good smell. So he probably smells her first, and then looks in the direction that she is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's all
Okay.
explained, man. It's all
tracks.
Science.
It all tracks.
It's
You're right.
science.
If you're actually paying attention to the dialogue, it's all there.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and watch it again.
You just passed out during the human scene, so you have no exposition.
Yeah. It's like, I gotta go pee again. All right. Well, here, I forgot about it. Here's Kevin's.
Oh, yeah.
He's all right, here we go. Godzilla versus King Kong. For what it's worth, I did enjoy this movie. Yeah, you motherfucker. As expected, the human aspect was stupid and pointless, but the Godzilla Kong stuff was pretty great. At this point, Kyle Chandler should 100% lose custody of his daughter. She took a book tube to China. Oops. But at least she went with some dude she just met on the internet. Kong's little girl was adorable, but she is so small. How could he see her hands to learn sign language? That's like me learning what an ant is saying by the movements of their antennae. I'm still a bit confused by why they needed to go to the center of the earth, other than Kong needed a dope axe that helped him get to Godzilla faster so he could get pimp slapped. Mechagodzilla could have looked a little cooler, and his juicing up from skull magic was a bit lame, but at least he was tough for a few minutes. Thank goodness Eric from True Blood had a flying defibrillator so Kong could finally do something besides almost drown and get suplexed by a super lizard. I'm pretty sure that last bit where they bitch at each other was just Godzilla saying pussy and Kong saying I know.
Hell yeah.
But despite being a weak story, it was a lot of fun, badassery. I'll totally watch it again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like Kevin gave pretty much our reviews together.
Yeah. Pretty much.
Yeah.
I'm just happy he won. I don't care how good or bad the movie is. All is right in the world.
There's two alpha titans in the world now.
It's all right. Kong's got, kind of. Zilla's running the top,
well,
and Kong's running the bottom.
He didn't kill Kong.
Well, that's what he means, that there's two alphas, essentially.
I'm saying it's a tie. I'm saying that it's not.
Is it, though?
Godzilla didn't win. It's a tie.
I mean, it's not. Kong's heart was about to stop. I mean, Zilla won.
I seem to think that Godzilla got an H-bomb defibrillator in the last film. So
that was only to speed up his recovery, if you remember. He would have just recovered naturally over time, as they said, because he was sleeping down in Hollow Earth where radiation.
Also, might have naturally recovered over time.
Nope, his heart was slowing down. It was going the other. It was going the other direction.
Hey, David, whatever you say, Alex is sponsored to be like, oh, fuck you.
It's all in good fun, but Kong's a bitch.
I will say
I love both. You know, I love both. It's just I love Zilla more, and
I liked this Kong more than I liked the Kong from Skull Island. Like,
Well, he was an
Kong's-
adult now.
Yeah, he was a juvenile in Skull Island.
I love how he basically the beginning of the movie is just him being an old ass man waking up in the morning and just being sad about being alive. Like he was just walking around Skull Island like fuck my life, like putting his head under a waterfall, like ugh. Like that was and he's scratching his ass. I was like, wow, this is getting off to a really interesting start.
And he makes the spear out of the tree.
Yeah, that was cool. I really liked how they explained what happened to Skull Island.
I actually missed that. What did happen to that? That was one thing that
So basically after the Kong Skull Island, the movie, Monarch establishes a base on Skull Island, and because they're moving back and forth through the storm so much, they basically with all their technology and all this shit, they kind of fuck with the storm too much, and it actually envelops the entire island, which is why they built that dome for him. And that's how all of the people died, is the storm killed them and he saved Gia. And the dome is sort of like there to, I guess, trick him into thinking that he's still walking around a Skull Island that's totally fine, even though he obviously has figured out that that's not the case.
Okay.
But yeah, I thought that was kind of cool because when you're outside the dome, it's just that storm. All the time.
I remember seeing that, but I think I got up to get popcorn and bring it back into the living room or something when they were talking about that, because I missed that part. But I remember seeing like when they first pan out after he throws the first thing and you see that it's a dome, they give you that exterior shot.
Yeah.
Revealing that that's what it is.
And Truman Show.
Yeah, but it is just like a giant fucking storm.
Yeah.
Out there, and you're like, huh.
Which is, I mean, that sucks, but that's also cool. A cool way to get him to go to Hollow Earth at the end. Yes. I think that was a good way to push him there, because he wants to go back to Skull Island, but Skull Island is just Hollow Earth pushed up to the surface. That's what they said. It's like the last ecosystem that still holds the properties of Hollow Earth. So
yeah,
he's basically in the same place. Opie left. I think he's tired of us saying that this movie was good, even though it is.
I don't understand what movie he thought he was going into.
I know that's the thing.
Exactly.
Like we knew as soon as I saw the trailers and I heard some of the people talking, I was like, well, here we go again. But I don't care because I know what I'm going there for. And I gotta say, man, like watching Godzilla at the beginning of the movie, like be like classic Godzilla where he just emerges and starts fucking shit up.
Yeah.
It was so good. Because that's something that we've been missing from these films. Like he hits buildings and blows stuff up, but it's usually on accident or he's like fighting something. Like in this one, just watching him.
No, he showed up to back
property damage.
Yeah.
Like that was the whole point.
In the second viewing, I did notice, because like at that time in the movie, we don't know why he's doing that. And we find out later he's trying to destroy Mechagodzilla / King Ghidorah's skull, which is what he's after.
Or, I mean, there's Skullcrawler eggs.
And Skullcrawler eggs. Yeah. There's a bunch. He's trying to kill all of it, but we didn't know that.
Yeah.
And when you watch it again, he doesn't try to blow anything up except for the Apex facility. It's just that jets start flying at him, and he's just like, "Get the fuck away from me! I'm not here for you." Like you can tell he's pissed. He's like, "No, go away! Like I'm going there. Leave me alone." Like you can tell. Like they did a really good job. Like you even brought it up the last time we talked about these movies, David. Like for being a giant ass lizard, they give him a lot of emotion and personality in his movements and his facial.
Okay, so they actually have to do it with the movement, because that's one of the things that Toho insists upon when they let outside production companies work on these films. Godzilla can't emote. He's not supposed to have. He did
in this.
He did more than he ever has, and I think that's why you noticed it, because he's like.
He's very flat in the face.
Yeah. And they don't want to give a lot of like the eyebrow raise, because they don't want it to be
comical,
cheesy and comical. And there's no way that it wouldn't be, especially with this character design. They do just enough with his eyes that you can tell there's a difference.
Yeah.
But he's not like, I mean, like Kong, because the apes are all human like and everything else.
Yeah.
It's obviously it's emote all over the place.
And I think they needed to do more in this movie because they're working opposite each other and together as well. Like when they have interactions, you need to see like their faces, and like the scene. It was one of my favorite scenes in the movie when they are thrown down in Hong Kong, and Zilla's trying his hardest to hit Kong with the breath, and Kong's dodging and weaving through the buildings. And then you see, like, as Kong's jumping away, you see one hit him in the shoulder, and then he like tumbles over, and then he looks back with like this look like, oh shit, he hit me with the breath. And then Godzilla literally smiles, like he's looking at him, and you can see like this sinister ass smile, like, gotcha, bitch. Like, it was just, I was like, oh, I'm here for this. Like, this is so cool. Like, I know it's cheesy, and I don't fucking care.
That
It's
moment,
so cool.
that whole segment had me not caring that fucking giant, however many ton monkey was jumping from building to building.
Didn't matter.
Virtually, I mean, yeah, the buildings were damaged to a point, but again, that's one of those things with like the physics that I just let go of, because I'm like, none of those buildings legitimately are built to withstand a monkey of that size landing the fuck on them.
What about Godzilla lighting everything on fire? That whole city would have burned to the ground.
Yeah. Oh, it's gone. It's
everything.
for sure gone.
Yeah, like.
And then at the end, when Mechagodzilla's just slamming his head into all the buildings, like one after another, I was like, damn, like, that was a cool fight, man.
Opie's got this look
really
on his face like, I went up to go to the bathroom, I got back, and these fucking 3 idiots are still talking about this movie.
Talking about.
No, I heard.
That's the
everything
title of
you
the
guys were
episode.
saying. I heard everything you said.
Yeah.
But Jesus Christ.
I knew you didn't like it. I don't know why, but just when you texted, all you texted was watched like GVKK
and nothing else.
Situation, nothing. I was like, oh, he hated it. Like I just didn't need anything else. I was
Well,
like,
of course you knew I hated it. You watched it.
I watched it twice because I fucking loved it.
Yeah, I mean, now granted, I could see myself watching all of these again. Only, you know, because again, the best parts are the Godzilla and the Kong, and you know, just have to get through the horrors of the acting and what they do with people, with storytelling, and you know, not that it would get better the second time around for me, knowing the story and what they're trying to convey.
It did
the
go
sheer
faster.
physics. Oh yeah, no shit, it went faster. So did everything that they were doing. Like, hey, I know nothing about this, so in about 30 minutes, I'm going to be the expert leading a whole group about it. That kind of stuff just drove me crazy. So
oh yeah, well, and the whole, like they said, the Team Godzilla thing was nutty bananas.
How long did it take them to develop Mecha Godzilla to the point to where if like, oh, this energy source is trying to give him his own artificial intelligence, and now he's kind of off the leash. Our bad.
Well, the energy source just provided him with the power. What made him disconnect was the Ghidorah skulls. They hinted that the Ghidorah skulls basically took over.
But the sheer physics of the creation of this thing and how you're controlling it with this dude who can roll his eyes into the back of his head. And
I wanted to know more about him because he's a Serizawa, and they didn't talk about him at all.
Oh, I just got through it. So it's just so such horrible storytelling. It's like I wish they could just find a better. It's like it wouldn't even be that hard to create a better storyline with these kinds of with this as your background.
Well, they did it in 2014.
You're right. I mean, granted, they did do it, you know, once so far out of what? How many is total between the two of them? 5?
4.
Is it 4?
Yeah.
So between all 4 of these, only one is like, as far as like,
I don't know. Skull Island's strong. I liked Skull Island.
It's not bad.
I thought the acting was so campy and horrible.
Well, it's during
one-dimensional.
Some of them are,
Jackson.
but some stuff is really working. What's his bucket from Step Brothers? I always forget the actor's name.
John C. Reilly. Yeah, he was good. I mean, Grant, I'll say if I were, that'd be number 2 for sure, between the 4 for me. But I think Godzilla would be first as far as just like a balance of CGI and actually storytelling.
Yeah, it's like a full package.
Yeah, you go that way, and then Skull Island, and then the rest of it just kind of slides off like like a soft turd.
I think I still am in the boat of I too think that 2014 is probably the strongest overall movie, just because it does have the most believable characters and a plot that kind of moves in a more logical direction. That being said, even though I think it's probably still the strongest, I'd probably watch this one over all of them any day of the week, just for fun factor, like just for punching and atomic breath and all the other good shit. Like this one's way more fun to watch than 2014.
I always thought that because there are so many of the Titans in the last one, that those scenes were pretty fun to watch. I thought they did it. I thought they did a good representation, a modern representation of those characters.
The character designs are amazing for sure, no doubt about that.
But I think probably some of it, now I think about it, was maybe lost in how dark everything was.
That's the problem. Is all of the fights were show them collide and then cut away to human reactions, and then show them punch for a second and then cut away to, like, this one let the fights breathe, let you see what was going on. That's the reason I think it's the most fun in that sense.
Yeah, but it's all shit.
I think it was just fun.
I think the Godzilla. You know what? I bet it's not. Or do we add it to the wheel? Is that what?
We can. I mean, now that you can watch this on HBO, basically, there's a franchise.
I mean, is that even necessary? We've all recently watched it.
That's fair.
Extensively on this show. I feel like it would be redundant to do it again.
So of course we would do it.
Yeah. What kind of show do you think this is? Yeah.
It might be on here. I'm not sure. I might put it on here.
The monsterverse.
Monsterverse, is that what I would put?
That's what it's referred to.
Titanverse? Oh, that was called? Okay.
I got to be honest. I would happily watch these 4 movies again without complaint.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I think we got that. I think we got that. I think all of you would. So it's really just, I don't know why the fuck I'm adding this.
Yeah, it's really it's bad for you and great for us, man.
To show I'm not biased here. Monsterverse, is that what it is?
Just call it that. We'll know what that is.
You will. I'll be like, what the fuck is oh god damn it. All right, it's on there, Monsterverse.
Nice.
I'm glad my next movie is like 8 hours, so it might take me a little longer to get through this one. All right. Well, I imagine, with Kevin's remarks, he agrees with you guys for the most part. So I'm glad he's not on here now.
You'd be getting ganged up on even worse.
So yeah, I guess if there's nothing more, we can end the show. Any last thoughts? No. Good. All right.
Oh fuck! I did have something. What was it? It was pretty relevant too, and I totally forgot.
Are you serious?
Was it Godzilla versus Kong relevant?
No, it wasn't. It's something totally different.
We're gonna get a text in like 20 minutes as soon as the show.
Yeah, turn the mics back on.
I remember what it was.
Prologue or epilogue.
If you remember, record it as a voice memo and send it to me.
That's way too much work. I already.
Yeah, I know. As soon as you said it, if you remember, I was thinking, there's no way Alex is gonna do anything that he's about to say. It's already too much.
You want to go ahead and set up GarageBand and then hook in your... Yeah, I'm like, no.
So first of all, you want me to try and remember, which means that after the show, I got to try and remember what it was.
That's the biggest problem is I won't at all.
If it's gone, it's gone.
I do remember.
Uh-oh.
We waited long enough.
And it's gone.
I know I did. I think Pete did. Who watched the Space Jam trailer?
Oh, hell no.
Oh, did you have to watch it?
No.
Oh, it's so bad.
I watched the Suicide Squad one. I did watch the Suicide Squad.
That's also bad, but this is another level.
You know what, though? The Suicide Squad one is going to be so much better than the first one.
Oh, I think that's easy. I think that's
I think you guys talked about it last week
in the Justice League. So.
Yeah.
Well, that's just absurd.
So
I feel better than Suicide Squad. Having not seen Suicide Squad, better than Suicide Squad. It's like, again, saying
No.
that the Snyder cut is better than Justice League.
No,
So
the
yeah, it
Suicide
is.
Squad is not as bad as everybody says it is, especially taken in the DC
Pete,
film
that's
universe.
you saying that.
There are some serious problems. There are some
Oh,
fun
fuck
things.
yes, there are some
in
serious problems
Suicide
with that
Squad.
movie.
There are fun things, but that movie as a whole is fundamentally broken.
Well, yeah.
Are you talking about
when you look at the class of enemy
Godzilla versus King Kong?
No, we're talking about Wonder Woman 84.
Oh, okay. Just want to make sure we're all clear.
No, it's just the big bad that they fight in that one.
We don't need to. Why are we doing this? Why are we going into DC? What are we doing?
I was just about to say the same
End the
thing.
show.
Like,
Godzilla versus Kong was dope. The end.
Hey, you brought up the fucking trailer to.
I brought up Space Jam first of all.
And
Totally.
I said I haven't
Suicide
seen that,
Squad.
but I did see Suicide Squad.
So then you brought up the trailer.
I'm just saying I brought up the trailer, and then Pete had to come on and say, "Hey, I'm going to say it is better than the first one." And the first one's not bad, as everybody says.
Nope.
So Space Jam, there's
Why the
zero
fuck
chance I'm going to watch this
point?
movie.
Yeah.
Like
The point was because I knew it was going to be just a train fire of a trailer, and I just had to watch it. I had to see it, and I'm so happy that I did.
Like, there's always been this discussion of whether or not LeBron is better than Michael, and whether or not you think that he is or he isn't. He's not Michael in front of the camera. He's just not. And so I don't see how LeBron.
Michael's not very good in front of the camera either.
I may be one of the only.
Michael was charming though. LeBron's not charming on any level.
I'll give you charm. I'll give you charm.
The original Space Jam.
I watched it when I was like
garbage.
6, so I have no idea.
That movie came out like late. People 10 years younger than me love that movie.
Yeah.
But
the only enjoyable parts of that movie were the stuff that Bill Murray was in.
That's
Other
right. He
than
was
that,
in that movie.
Like Michael Jordan is. I mean, he's a basketball player. I didn't expect much from him. He's completely one note.
He is?
The entire fucking movie.
No, he's a golf player actually, or no, baseball.
golf player.
Sorry,
he did both. He did baseball and golf.
I didn't expect much. Is all I'm saying through that. But he's one note throughout the entire movie. I think it's silly that in the new one they've changed Babs Bunny up a little bit. I get it.
She's not as sexy anymore.
Whatevs. Which was kind of weird in the first place. Really?
Says you.
13-year-old Alex says otherwise.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah, man. She's right up there with Jasmine. Let's go.
Yeah, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? This guy right here.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah,
So,
I was just never a big fan of this first Space Jam movie.
No.
I don't.
Yeah, well,
No. Very few people in our generation are. It's the younger generation. A fun little side note is if you go to, I do believe that it is like spacejam.com. They have like the original 1996 website up.
That's awesome.
Really fun to look at.
Like GeoCities.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
It's really cool. I went there and I was like, oh my God, this brings back some memories.
There's like a flash animation playing at the top.
Oh yeah, it is super cheesy. It's super pixelated, and it's like Bugs Bunny dribbling a basketball or something.
That's awesome.
It looks really cheesy.
Well, there you
Some
go.
banner. This is Winamp extension coming soon.
Yeah, probably.
So if you don't watch the new Space Jam trailer, at least go visit the website.
At least go visit the old school website. Yeah, you'll enjoy it more probably.
You probably will.
I'm definitely going to avoid the trailer.
I'm sure I'll see it some
I
point.
watched it for
plan
you
on
guys.
watching movies at the theater, and
I imagine I'll
sure.
likely end up
That's
seeing
true.
the movie only because one of the things that me and my daughter sometimes do before they go to bed, we'll watch a couple Looney Tunes cartoons
Nice.
from HBO Max.
Yeah.
And we just got done watching the latest season of the newest cartoons that they actually just produced, the new ones.
Oh, the newer ones.
Yeah, the newer ones that look like older style. They're actually pretty good. They're not bad. So we watched that. So they'll probably want to watch this when they see that it's out. So all I gotta really actually do is help avoid them seeing that that's out. So if I can do that,
You see the trailer on, you just throw your remote through the TV.
Yeah.
Like,
quickly move Flash, move past it real quick.
Yeah.
No,
I feel
that wasn't Bugs Bunny.
HBO, Warner Brothers, and AT&T, like the whole brain trust behind HBO Max, did a horrible job with the Looney Tunes.
I thought you were
Max,
gonna say the horrible job with including AT&T in their brain trust.
AT&T bought them. There's nothing they could do.
Oh, they're the money. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
I feel like just the way they broke it into like the seasons that they broke it into, like they should have done it a little better. And instead of it being, because it says like the Looney Tunes it's in like 7 seasons, and they put like 20 episodes a season. It just doesn't kind of make sense the way it's organized to me. Like I wish they would have done like, this is all Roadrunner, this is all Bugs Bunny, these are just kind of like your general Looney Tunes.
HBO does that though. They have groupings.
They changed it then, because we haven't gone back and watched any since they
if you go, this is part of the show still, right? We're still
unfortunately.
Okay, good. If you go into the Looney Tunes section on HBO Max, you can go by seasons. If you go into collections, they have groupings of different stuff.
Okay, so looking through collections. Thank you very much.
Well, we're talking about trailers. The Black Widow trailer before Godzilla was really cool.
I didn't see it. I know that they launched that like a day or two ago.
Is there a new one?
Yeah, there's a new one.
Yeah,
it's cool. It's more footage. They've done a good job of holding off.
That was what I was concerned about too, because I was like, I don't want to see too much. I
don't feel like they showed too much.
Okay, good.
It was a lot more of the same, but it kind of gave you a better feel of what the movie was going to be about.
Okay, good.
Yeah, they recut it, added a couple establishing shots and things like that kind of I don't want to say got you excited for it again, but you do kind of go, oh yeah, that's right, that's coming out again. This should be good.
Oh, and Before Nobody was a better Maverick trailer. Like that came on, and my wife like sat straight up. She got super excited, and I was like, did you forget there was a new Top Gun movie coming out? And she was like, oh yeah, I totally did.
I actually totally did too. And even when you said the word Maverick, I was like, what movie?
Like, what's he talking about?
And then you said Top Gun, and you're like, oh, that's right.
That's right. There's a Top Gun movie. Yeah.
I honestly thought that it had been released over the pandemic, and I just missed it.
No.
Yeah, I totally thought it came out and was
held. It never came out. And the new trailer, the new and improved trailer looked really cool. So do some trailer searching, because now that they're releasing things in the theater, I think they're actually starting to put effort into their trailers again. And
well, you're also going to get a lot of like larger studio trailers. Like if you, because I can spend 30-40 minutes just watching trailers on Apple TV, and it has been for the last year basically fucking indies, nothing but trailer for indie movies. Completely.
Or teasers that don't really give you much of anything,
because all the studios are holding off until
we're starting to get real trailers again, and they were pretty cool. There was a trailer for Quiet Place 2, which I was complaining before the show that I have not seen one, and no, I guess I did that in the show. Whatever, it's been so long.
Who knows?
Yeah, you watched the wrong one. You watched the wrong one.
The trailer for 2 looked great. There was some other stuff too that I'm trying to think of. Oh, the new Saw movie. I'm not really.
Oh yeah, Spiral.
Yeah, Spiral.
Is another Saw movie?
We saw that one.
Chris Rock in it now.
Chris Rock looks old as shit in that movie. He looks old.
Yeah, it looks bad.
Saw is on the wheel.
There's like 9 of those, dude.
Well, I hope you don't get it then.
Yeah,
the first couple are fine. I didn't watch past that.
I'm so praying I don't get a large horror franchise, because I do not know when the fuck I will be able to watch.
It to be like at 3 a.m. with bloodshot eyes. Like,
like
he's gonna be watching them 4 minutes at a time in the bathroom, like on his phone.
If you think he only spends 4 minutes at a time in the bathroom, you are mistaken. So.
Yeah,
I think he can only
he'll
add
get
4
to a
minutes
movie
to
and a
the
half.
He already spends every time he's in there.
Oh yeah, I just mounted a TV in the bathroom above the mirror so I can see it opposite the toilet.
He's like, I'm gonna go poop. He comes back. I just watched Return of the King.
Extended cut.
Yeah. Sorry, I watched the Snyder cut while I was in there. I just wanted to knock it out real fast.
So when's dinner?
That's good stuff.
Let's end
All
this
right.
one.
Put her to bed. Say goodnight.
I don't know. Did we hit all the marks that we wanted to hit? We talked about Winter Soldier. We talked about Godzilla.
Yeah.
We talked about Pete's bowel movement. I think we hit all the marks.
Oh, they did announce DC has Black Adam.
What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing?
I did see a teaser for
Cut
that.
the
I have
mic.
not watched it.
Cut the mic.
Yeah. As soon as you're like, oh, well, DC, yeah, what are you doing? Save that. Jesus. Amateur. All right. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for downloading. Kevin, if you're listening to this, you were sorely missed, sort of. However, I want to talk to you about your review. I have some notes. And Sam, thank you for listening. Now every time we record, we can keep her in mind as an actual listener.
I'm sure she'll love it.
Yeah, keep her involved. All right, well, till next week.
Hashtag Team Godzilla.
Hashtag I'm still alive.
Hashtag write a fucking story.
If you guys want, I'll have a Jeopardy game ready for next week.
Oh,
Works for me. Do we have anything? We don't have anything really going on next week.
Well, no, not next week. Next week we got that thing. We have to do that thing. Maybe the week after if we have time. We'll see.
this will be the new Snyder Cut trailer.
We're still trying to get to that Snyder Cut trailer.
Yeah.
we can only bump it so many times. I mean, you understand. But anyway, no, your Jeopardy game, yes.